If you're in your 30s or 40s and new to weight training, it can seem like you've got to learn lots of fancy exercises. In reality, you only need a few key movements to get started, and the goblet squat is one of those that can be an awesome jumping off point to feeling confident with weights and building a strong, fit, capable body. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to do it safely, why it's such a great move, and how to make it work for you. My name's Alvin, I'm a fitness coach based in Bristol in the UK, and in this video I'm going to break down the goblet squat step by step so you can nail the technique and add this exercise to your training toolkit. Now, the goblet squat's a great exercise for strengthening your legs and your core, but it's also a great first stepping stone from body weight squats to add in some heavier weight variations. It builds strength, it helps you develop good squat form, and it gets you ready for barbell squat variations later down the line as you gain experience. But it can also be a challenging exercise in its own right. And as you start to build confidence with your weight training, you can definitely load this one up for a much tougher challenge. So we're going to go through setup and execution of the goblet squat. But just quickly, if you find this video helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you more tips over the coming weeks to help you start regaining confidence, not just in how your body looks, but what you can do with it. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. All right, let's get into it. Firstly, the setup. Now, you can use a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or if you're doing this at home, you can grab a backpack or anything you're able to add some weight to. I prefer a dumbbell just because of the hand position. I find it easier to keep the weight there without a whole bunch of fatigue in my upper body. One of the benefits of the goblet squat is additional upper body strength alongside your legs and core. But for the most part, and for you guys just getting into this, I don't want my arms to be the limiting factor, so I like using a dumbbell. It just sits there nicely. Now, you're going to start with your kettlebell or dumbbell between your feet, with your feet shoulder width apart as a starting point, but don't think of that as a fixed position. You can have your feet out wider if you find that more comfortable when you're squatting, and you can have your feet slightly turned out too if that works for you. But one thing I do want you to do is to make sure your knees are tracking in the same direction as your toes. So if your toes are straight, make sure your knees go that way too, and if they're slightly turned out, then send your knees in that same direction. From there, you're going to hinge or squat down, grab the dumbbell if that's what you're using, and bring it up with the heel of your hands underneath the head of the dumbbell, and you want to hold it about an inch away from your chest. You don't want the dumbbell directly against your chest, but the further away from your body you hold it, the more of an arm and core challenge you're going to get, which might actually be a great variation once you get more competent with your weight training. From there, you're going to keep your elbows tucked, stand up nice and tall with your shoulders back, and we're looking to avoid any excessive extension or flexion and keep a nice neutral curve of your back. Once you're in that position, you're all set to nail your squat. Once you're in your setup position, you're going to take a nice deep breath in and brace through your core, which helps you keep your spine safe and stable. And from there, you're going to break at the hips and knees and sit down into your squat. Drive your knees out to keep them tracking with your toes. Keep your weight distributed evenly across your whole foot and sit down until your thighs are parallel to the floor or just below that. Don't worry about trying to sit down until your ass touches the floor. That position might not be available to you at this stage, but you want to go down as far as you can while still maintaining that neutral spine that we just talked about. If you feel like you're getting to a certain point and that's coming apart, stop just a little bit above that for the time being. As I mentioned earlier, feel free to play about with your foot position, as you may find you're able to go a little bit deeper while maintaining that neutral spine position after having a little shuffle around with your feet. But remember, regardless of which foot position you take, try to keep your knees tracking with your toes and avoid your knees caving in towards each other. On the way back up, think about pushing the floor away from you, and when you reach the top, squeeze your glutes and find that tall position again. And that there is your goblet squat. So remember, concentrate on that solid setup, keep your knees tracking with your toes, and only go as low as you can while still maintaining that neutral spine position. Try this for 10 reps. Start with a weight you can handle comfortably and focus on technique. And if you can master the goblet squat, you're going to build a rock solid foundation for more advanced movements later on. Again, if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll be back soon with another video, but until then, thanks for watching. Catch you later.